Hello, everybody. This is Brian with Abracadoodle.
And I'm Kevin.
This is Kevin. Thank you so much for joining us for our live Facebook event for week 6. It's hard to believe, week 6 of our weekly artist challenge, Splatdoodle, #Splatdoodle. Today, I thought I'd have my partner in crime, my fiance, Kevin Cox. He does Abracadoodle with me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin's a working artist who works right here.
Yeah.
So thankfully, we both work from home right now. And we thought it would be really great to show you him doing a demonstration of our Splatdoodle competition this week, which this week it's Vincent Van Gogh. Now, we've had a debate about this, Van Gogh or Van Gogh?
Or something completely different.
Correct.
We don't know. Because he's Dutch, and probably only the Dutch know how to pronounce it correctly. Because everybody has their own version of it. We have Van Gogh, the British say Van Gogh, the French say something else, and then the Japanese say something completely different.
So Kevin, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Okay. Kevin is, I've finally gotten him on to one of our videos. He's really shy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of artists are really shy. I think that that's true. And sometimes some of us express ourselves with words and some of us express ourselves through art. And yeah. Kevin does a great job of expressing himself through his art. So I'm really proud of him and all the work he's been able to do. But would you mind sharing us a little bit about how you create and what you choose to make?
Well, I primarily do people because it helps me cope with my social anxiety disorder.
Right. So, and thank you so much for sharing that with everybody, because I think that that's the case for a lot of people. And actually, Van Gogh himself had struggles, much worse struggles with mental health than you could imagine. And this is actually a self-portrait of Van Gogh that he did of himself. And we saw a great movie. It was a year or two ago.
It was last year, called At Eternity's Gate.
Yeah, and we also saw Loving Vincent.
Loving Vincent, yeah.
Right. Loving Vincent itself, that was the one I was hoping to get to, is a great movie. We had a lot of fun seeing that. And it's an animated film in the style of Van Gogh. Mm-hmm. And we got to see a glimpse into his life through animation. And I really loved that it was in his style. He suffered from mental health issues really badly. He was in and out of hospitals. And in fact, the piece that we're going to look at today.
Now, people suspect that he suffered from bipolar disorder, which fortunately we have medication for today. But unfortunately, in Van Gogh's time, they did not.
Right. Yes, that's true. And while he was in an institution one year, and he was cooped up and he had nature, and he was one of the few patients that they gave access to the grounds to. And one of the things he created while he was in the hospital was Starry Night. And, so he would go out at night, see these. A lot of people think that he was having trouble on the particular day he imagined this scene. And it's really beautiful. It's one of the most famous pieces of art that you would find anywhere. And notice up in the upper left-hand corner of my screen, we have the Van Gogh gallery. That's a public gallery that's online. You can order prints. You can really just go and view anything at all that's in Van Gogh's library, right there, public for the public to see, which I just think is amazing. So this is another piece that I selected. It's a piece of flower. It's of the flowers. This is a watercolor. Yeah, I chose this because it's a watercolor. I always find it amazing when a great artist can make something so special out of watercolor, which we think of as being kind of a kid's medium.
Yeah.
but there's some really great pieces out there that are watercolor. So I'm encouraging you all, go to the Van Gogh Gallery. You can just type it into Google, vangoghgallery.com, and take a look at what he has done. So today we are going to do Starry, I keep saying Starry twice, Starry Night with Van Gogh. And what I like about this is something my daughter Madeline created. And actually, this is really neat. It was using tempera paint, which is more intense watercolor, really.
Yeah.
And a little less forgiving, too, sometimes. It takes a little longer to dry. It can be a little less forgiving. So she was unhappy with how this was going because she had globs of paint over here and up here. And I encouraged her to go ahead and let it dry and come back to it, and it'll be okay because you can paint over it, because while it's unforgiving, you can also cover things with it.
Yeah.
And when we covered this down here, what was a mess ended up looking kind of like a moon, which I really like. And then up here we have the little swirls. My daughter Haley, who is a very precise artist, I would say, created this. I'm laughing because it's such a reflection of her personality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always say the best art is a reflection of the personality of those who created it. And that was Madeline. This is definitely Haley. So precise. I mean, even the trees are kind of evenly spaced. The hills are perfect. The stars almost seem like they're very methodically placed. I just think it's great. So she used tempera. Kevin, what are you going to be using?
I'm going to be using oil pastel.
Okay, and why are we choosing oil pastels?
Well, I'm choosing oil pastel because, well, for time constrictions, and also because you can kind of get the same effect that Van Gogh had with oil pastels.
Okay, fantastic. So you would hand me your camera over there. We are going to try to show, this is the first time we've done this. We're going to try 2 cameras. So I think we need to move over to your video, though. You're in an image.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, so we are going to, I'm going to pin your video, which right now we're only seeing a shadow, but I'm going to hold it up. And Kevin is going to walk us through what he's doing. So Kevin, tell us a little bit about what you're going to do first.
Okay, well, the challenge this week says that you can do a scene of your downtown area at night.
Yes.
So I think that's what I'm gonna do, or try to do.
Okay.
Some scene that can be found in downtown Middletown, which is where we live.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to map out my image. I'll do it in darker pencil. So
I'm going to try to move this in closer.
Yeah. So I have a horizon line right here, which is, where the land meets the sky. And I think I'm going to do, for my image, I'm going to do a view of the Connecticut River, which is the big river that's in our state that divides it in half between east and west. So I am going to pretend that this is going to be where the river is. And then I may do like a structure, like a house or something, right here. Just do like a little square and have a roof on it, because there are a lot of waterfront structures down at the Riverwalk in downtown Middletown. And then I'm going to draw some indication, because there's a boardwalk down there also.
I am thinking that our video is not work. This is not working.
You don't think so?
Nope, I'm looking at it live right now, so I'm gonna tilt the screen up.
Oh, okay. And then I'm going to draw in the highway with the bridge, the Aragoni Bridge. And then I think I'm just going to freehand the rest. So, see, first of all, I'm going to start off with some blue because it's a night scene.
I love the Aragoni Bridge there. Kind of like the Riverwalk, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was paying attention to trying to get this video right. And you were talking. You were doing a great job describing what you were doing. And
yeah.
I think I missed a bunch of it.
And so, like what Van Gogh did, he did a lot of swirls of different colors. So that's what I'm going to do it next. I'm going to do a lot of swirls. Again, this is just for the sky. They don't have to be, they certainly don't have to be perfect.
Now, somebody could use a darker paper too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then just do white.
And then just do white.
Or yellow.
Or yellow.
Mm-hmm. So if we had like a piece of construction paper that was darker, you could do that. Certainly, watercolors would work.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other materials you think would be good here?
If you have tempera paint, certainly tempera paint.
Yes, which are the examples that we showed.
That we used, yep, or crayons.
Very good. Now you're adding some black in there. What's making you do that?
Well, I am, like I said, just trying to layer color on, just like Van Gogh did, because he did a lot of different variations of color. To him, the world was not just one color for everything. Like the sky was just not one shade of blue. The grass was just not one shade of green. He had just a whole bunch of variations mixed in there.
Which is kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What I find interesting about Van Gogh is he was an artist who, when he was alive, sold very few paintings.
He only sold one painting, yeah.
That's kind of discouraging.
But people soon realized what a great artist he was. And he actually ended up painting over about 900 paintings in 10 years.
Wow. He had a lot of he had a lot of creativity in there.
Yeah, a lot of creativity. Yeah.
He also wrote a lot of letters, didn't he?
Yep, he used to write a lot of letters to his brother Theo.
Yes, which Loving Vincent that's what that really is about.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin, we're gonna let you keep working on that. And then maybe talk a little bit about the Splat Doodle Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So the Splat Doodle Challenge is something we come up with every week. We've done it. Let's see, what's been your favorite one so far?
I think my favorite so far was the Matisse cutouts. Those were pretty fun, and definitely the Kasama Yayoi challenge where we did a bunch of dots together.
Oh yeah, that was really fun.
That was really fun.
I enjoyed that a lot. That one was the polka dots.
Hmm.
She was a pop artist. What would you describe Van Gogh as?
Van Gogh was part of the post-impressionism movement. So this was a movement that took place after the Impressionists. And the Impressionists were all about making things less realistic. So they would primarily paint outside, and they would make things, it was almost like they made things like a fuzzy photograph. And then, of course, the post-impressionists came after that and just more or less just added to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it still had elements of impressionism, but we don't quite call it impressionism.
Right, right. So I hope everybody, while Kevin is doing this, is maybe making their own version of Starry Night, maybe of their community at night.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could certainly do something similar to what Van Gogh did. Or you could do maybe a city that you visited that you thought was really beautiful at night and create that. I really love this because it's a way for us to share something about ourselves while we are all cooped up for 6 weeks needing haircuts.
Yeah.
Needing some sort of positive energy in our lives. And like Van Gogh, this was something he did to help him through difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
When he was, a lot of people think he was having a particularly bad episode while he did Starry Night.
Yeah.
That he was particularly not well that day. And he shared he was having such a bad time with his mental health that this is actually very close to what he may have seen, that the colors in the skies are distorted this way. And this is how he expressed that to show that that the rest of the world, this is what I see. So this is a way to show people you love and maybe you can't be close to right now, something you might be seeing in your community, out your window at night. That my parents live in New Hampshire right now, and I can't get to them. Your parents live in Tennessee.
Yeah. Even further away.
Even further away, so you can't get to them right now.
Mm-hmm.
But through art and expression, we can say a lot, can't we?
We certainly can.
Yeah. I mean, as people who are shyer, who might have difficulty expressing themselves one way, we have other ways to express ourselves. When I was little, one of the things that I liked to do was I would share my performing arts, and I would enjoy that. I would enjoy doing that with people. And I was a really shy kid. And that's one of the things that really helped me come out of my shell, is that I got to learn from scripts. I didn't have the pressure of, my gosh, what do I say next to this person? Or what do I do next? With Kevin, he really used his own ability to create beautiful pictures and paintings and drawings to show people what he was feeling. So you're putting the final pieces of work out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then pretty soon we're going to be ready to share what you've made.
Yep. I am just about done.
Now, everybody has something that they can use. You can use cutouts, much like we did, and that was Matisse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Matisse's cutouts. You could use cutouts. You could cut out shapes. You could cut out the swirls that, like Van Gogh created in his Starry Night. Do that. You could use crayons. I really encourage you, do whatever you can. Post it to our Facebook page, which is Abracadoodle Central Connecticut, or our Instagram page, Abracadoodle Central Connecticut. and hashtag it Splatdoodle. Make sure you make it public because we're really, this is a national program where people from around the world, around the country, during this really difficult time can go and see what you create and what you do. We are both really passionate about this program, not only as a way to let people know what we do, but as a way to help everybody in the community through this difficult time, which it's only for right now. It will be over. We don't know when.
Hopefully next month.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. We want to be back out there with you, with Splat, who's on my t-shirt, doing live art classes. And I think, would it be all right if we showed them what we did?
Yeah, just hang on.
Oh, so what are you doing?
I am just doing some blending.
So with pastels,
make it look more smooth.
for those who don't know, with pastels, one of the reasons if you have pastels at home, which are kind of like it's an oil crayon.
Similar to, yeah, pretty much an oil crayon.
Yeah, and one of the benefits of using that particular medium is you can do what Kevin's doing right now, which he's just sort of taking his hand and blending the colors together. It's a really neat medium to use when you're mimicking Van Gogh, even though he used paints.
Even though he used oil paint.
He used oil paints because he can blend those colors and kind of give it that same effect that a Van Gogh piece would have. Not that we're trying to create Van Gogh. Van Gogh was brilliant. He's one of the most renowned painters out there on the planet ever.
Yeah, and really quite unique because nobody at the time, nor really since, has really done anything that was like his work.
That's true. That's true. All right, so we're just about ready to show that off.
Now I'm gonna put in some happy trees.
Happy trees.
Yeah.
You did that for your friend Laura, didn't you?
I did.
So that way we could say that they were happy trees, which is a nod to Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross, who used to be on public television and did art for free.
Much like we're doing.
Much like what we're doing. He was a working artist like Kevin is, but used public television as a way to get awareness out there about art and get kids excited about art. So we hope that we're doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, indeed. So Kevin's adding a couple of happy trees, and then and we're going to show you the art, and then let you all get on with your day.
Okay, just don't finish that. All right.
So once again, hashtag.
And remember, art can be messy.
Art can be messy. Kevin's wearing his apron.
I'm wearing my apron though.
So there's your final piece.
Yep.
Great job, Kevin. That's great. I know I made it sound like I was talking to a kid. It is a great piece of art. I think this is great. I'm really proud of it myself, even though I didn't make it. Thank you very much, everybody. Stay creative, stay safe, stay healthy. Hashtag Splatdoodle. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.